Okay. Is Trump anti-GMO? Is he anti-processed foods? What about RFK? Is he really a carnivore? You know, I've been hearing all these things and I don't know the answer to it because I don't do politics. I stopped doing politics back in 2020 when, so many people were forced to get that jab. I was just a little bit pissed off because, it affected a lot of people's lives. And then life goes on and we're talking about the price of gas in China, So yeah, I was upset. So I want to know these things. So let's talk about it.
I said, oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm not. I said, oh.
Okay, you guys, let's share some blessings before we get started as usual. Now, we have a new subscriber who is also a content creator, and her name is Sharika Skates. And I'm going to put it up here. So let's go over to her channel. She does a Life Over 50 channel, and she promotes getting moving through skating. So let's check her out. So, like I said, I'm not sure what's going on in the world, especially when it comes to politics. I've long since got out of that cult. Well, let me not call it a cult. Let me be a little bit more respectful. I removed myself from any political organizations, Democrat, Republican, or all that in between a long time ago. Because to me, I noticed I was a Democrat. I was one of those Democrats that watch MSNBC, CNN all through the day, 4 to 6 hours a day. I get up in the morning, I'm watching it. In the evening, I'm watching it. I'm talking to my friends about it like an echo chamber on the phone all day long. I was too invested. When the good things happen, I'm happy. When the bad things happen, I'm sad. It took over my emotions. And I'll tell you one thing, when you allow stuff to stress you out and take over your emotions like that, it's not good for your health. That's where stress comes from. And if you look at the news nowadays, you'll see that a lot of things on the news will actually have your emotions going up and down, up and down, up and down every time you watch that news. So what happened to me was I'm not going to say I thought of the idea. My daughter told me one day when she used to come in my room to see me, Mom, you're watching this news all day long. It's just getting too much. So she put that in my head. So I decided to step away from politics altogether, So it was 3 months. I turned off the news, didn't watch any more news at all, So 3 months later, after I stopped watching news and really stopped talking to my, cult member friends. I mean, I'm just joking. My Democratic friends. So I called a friend of mine. Either I called her or she called me. She lives in this apartment complex, right? Now, mind you, at this time, I didn't know what I was kind of involved in, right? So she called me and we were talking. And of course, go straight to politics again. I don't know why. It just seemed like we always talking about politics. And I tell you one thing, when you're talking about politics, or not even just politics, anything, if you're talking about anything and it affects you to the point where you're arguing with the person that you're talking to, you get heated, your heart rate go up, hey, it just might be a cult. Anyway, she says to me, Brenda, she says, I'm going to go down to the management office. She says, I'm going down to the management office and I'm going to tell on my neighbors because they didn't get their jab. I looked at her. I mean, I didn't look at her, but I just got quiet because I'm thinking this is a joke, right? There's a joke behind it, right? It wasn't a joke. It was real. It was totally real. And I thought about it to myself, there was a time that I would have said, yeah, girl, go on down there, tell on them. Don't, they are impeding on you. Go tell on them. I would have said that, right? But at that moment, I realized that I had been in having cult-like behavior is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I mean, I actually almost wanted to cry because the truth is, when you're in a cult, you don't really know you're in a cult. How many people know that they've been in a cult? Because we've all been in some kind of cult. And I don't mean just politics. I mean, there's social cults out there. There's black conscious movements out there. There's even health cults you can be in. There's political cults you can be in. Any type of thing that you're involved in, when you find it affecting your mind, your emotions, the decisions you make, you might look at it and say, is this a cult-like type of organization I'm in? And that's very important. So I choose to stay sovereign these days. But anyway, I say that to say, oh, the story about when she said she was going to go and tell on her neighbors, it reminded me of this book. Now, you guys got to read this book. You can either read the book or watch the movie. It's called, what is it called? It's called 1984. It's by George Orwell. And it's like a totalitarian type surveillance with propaganda and Big Brother. And I remember when she said that, I remembered in this book, there was a lady that lived across the hallway from another lady. And this lady used to have guests, and she would get her binoculars and look through the window so that she could tell the government that this lady was having company from, company that she wasn't supposed to have. Anyway, it was just absurd. But I just say that to say, pay attention to the type of organizations that we get involved in and how it makes us feel. When you start getting high emotions and wanting to argue with your friends and your family and stuff like that there, or it's affecting your life, you need to really pay attention to it and make the right choices, because it may not be something that's good for you. It can cause stress, and stress actually causes health problems. So this video was actually about whether Trump was anti-GMO and anti-food processing, and whether RFK was a carnivore, because someone, and I don't know that to be true now, someone in my comments actually said that they thought RFK was a carnivore. So if you know it, please go down there in the comments and put it in there for me. So what I wanted to read, because I want to find out, this is on Twitter, on Donald Trump's feed. And I wanted to find out more about what he's talking about with this health thing. So it says, I am thrilled to announce Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. Far too long, Americans have been crushed by the industrial food complex and drug companies who have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation when it comes to public health. And hearing that takes me back to the video I just did. I'll put it up here maybe 2 days ago on ChatGPT, and not relying on what it tells you regarding health, especially if you don't know how to put the correct prompts in order to get the correct information. Who programs ChatGPT? Because it gives you that basic information, and certain people that don't know, they'll run with that, and that could be really, really bad for your health. So, hey, Mr. Trump, you need to look into that. Who programs ChatGPT? So let me read on. So it says, the safety and health of all Americans is the most important role of any administration, and HHS will play a big role in helping ensure that everybody will be protected from harmful chemicals, pollutants, pesticides, and pharmaceutical products and food additives that have contributed to the overwhelming health crisis in this country. You guys know, there used to be a time when you could go to the store and you would expect, okay, the inner sides of the store, we know all of that stuff has processed food in them. Now you can't eat anywhere you look. There's processed food in everything. Not to mention the genetically modified fruits and vegetables that we've come to think are organic. There's so much in our foods, and then we wonder why we're sick. It's awful. So let me finish up reading. Where did I stop? Pesticides, pharmaceutical products, and food additives that have contributed to the overwhelming health crisis in this country. Mr. Kennedy will restore these agencies to the tradition of gold standard scientific research and a beacon of transparency to end the chronic disease epidemic. Now, hopefully, this is true. I don't know. You know, politicians, they say a lot in order to get in office. But I'm counting on them to do this because health to me is very, very important. Without health, you can't hardly do anything else. So if they do, hats off to them, you know, but I'm not going back into politics, I can assure you that. But if they do, I will be thankful for that. So that's all I have to say about that. So as usual, look down there, hit that like button for me, and thanks for showing up. See you next time.
I said, ooh, mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm now. I said, ooh, mirror, mirror, smoking body crack. I said, ooh, this body banger, bitch, you need a plot. I said, ooh, God, why I gotta be so damn fine? I said, ooh, mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm now. I said, ooh, mirror, mirror, smoking body crack.